Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are going to talk about what did matter. We get caught up in the hustle and bustle of daily life, chasing after this and that, and sometimes we lose sight of what's truly important. Have you ever found yourself working tirelessly, only to realize you're not moving in the direction you truly want to go? I know I have. What are you focusing on today? Are you spending your time and energy on things that bring you closer to your dreams and goals? Or are you just spinning your wheels, staying busy without being productive? It's a tough question, but an important one. I want to challenge you to do the same. Take a moment and think about your priorities. Are you giving your best to the things that matter most? Or are you letting the urgent crowd out the important? It's easy to get caught up in the demands of everyday life. But remember this, not everything that is urgent is important. Let's make today a turning point. Let's decide to focus on what really matters. For me, it meant turning my life around from a struggling farm boy to standing here sharing these lessons with you. It wasn't always easy, but it was always worth it. And if I can do it, so can you. Let's dive deeper into the concept of priorities. Have you ever found yourself at the end of a long day, exhausted, but feeling like you didn't accomplish anything meaningful? I've been there too, and I know that feeling all too well. One of the greatest lessons I learned from my mentor was the importance of setting clear priorities. He used to say, Jim, don't start your day until you finish it on paper. In other words, plan your day before it begins. Decide what's important and tackle those tasks first. It's simple advice, but incredibly powerful. When you know your priorities, you can allocate your time and energy more effectively, ensuring that you're always moving towards your goals. But it's easy to get distracted, isn't it? There are so many things clamoring for our attention every day. Emails, phone calls, meetings, errands, the list goes on. And while these things might seem urgent, they're not always important. There's a big difference between the two. Urgent tasks demand immediate attention. But important tasks are those that contribute to your long-term goals and well-being. I ask you again, what are you focusing on today? Is it leading you to where you want to be? If not, it might be time to reassess your priorities. Take a moment to think about your long-term goals. What do you want to achieve in your career, your personal life, your health? Once you're clear on that, identify the steps you need to take to get there and make those steps your top priority. It's also important to understand that priorities can change over time. What was important to you a year ago might not be important today, and that's okay. Life is dynamic, and so are our goals and needs. The key is to stay flexible and adjust your priorities as needed, but always keep your long-term vision in mind. Another method is to ask yourself a simple question every time you start a new task. Is this bringing me closer to my goals? If the answer is no, it might be time to reconsider that task place in your day. Remember, it's not about being busy. It's about being productive. When was the last time you took a step back and evaluated your priorities? Are you spending your days on tasks that truly matter, or are you just reacting to whatever comes your way? It's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of daily activities, but taking the time to reassess your priorities can make a world of difference. You see, focusing on what really matters isn't just about saying no to distractions. It's about saying yes to the things that align with your values and goals. It's about making conscious choices every day to invest your time and energy in what will bring you closer to your dreams. Now, I'm not saying you should ignore everything else. Life has its demands, and we all have responsibilities. But within those demands, find ways to carve out time for what's truly important. It might mean waking up a bit earlier, cutting down on time-wasting activities, or learning to delegate tasks that others can handle. Let's make a commitment today to focus on what really matters. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. By prioritizing the important over the urgent, we can achieve our goals, improve our well-being, and live a more fulfilling life. Now let's take a moment to explore what truly matters in life. It's easy to get caught up in the daily grind and lose sight of what's important. But if we don't stop to evaluate our priorities, we might find ourselves climbing a ladder that's leaning against the wrong wall. Think about your health. Without good health, all the success in the world doesn't mean much, does it? You might have a fancy car, a big house, and a fat bank account. But if you're too sick to enjoy it, What's the point? Investing in your health by eating right, exercising, and getting enough rest should be a top priority. Our relationships with our loved ones are among the most important aspects of our lives. Yet, how often do we push them aside because we're too busy with work or other obligations? I've met many successful people who regret not spending more time with their families. They chased after their careers and financial success, only to realize later that they missed out on precious moments with their loved ones. I've always believed that family is one of the greatest sources of joy and support. When my daughter was young, I used to travel a lot for work. One day, she looked at me with those big innocent eyes and said, "Dad, do you have to go again?" That hit me hard. I realized that no amount of money or success could replace those moments with my daughter. From that day on, I made a commitment to be present and to prioritize my family above all else. And let me tell you, it made all the difference in the world. So, when was the last time you truly connected with your loved ones? Have you been there for them, or have you been too caught up in your own pursuits? It's worth reflecting on, because at the end of the day, the time we spend with our family is what we'll cherish most. Another area that often gets overlooked is personal growth. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking we're too busy to invest in ourselves. But personal growth is essential for long-term success and fulfillment. It could be reading a good book, taking a course, learning a new skill, or even just setting aside time for reflection and planning. Are you taking the time to invest in yourself? Are you learning and growing every day? If not, I encourage you to start today. Even a small step in the right direction can make a big difference over time. On the flip side, let's look at some of the things that don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. We often get caught up in chasing after material possessions, status, and the approval of others. But these things are fleeting. They might bring temporary satisfaction, but they don't contribute to our long-term happiness or fulfillment. When was the last time you evaluated your priorities? Are you focusing on what really matters, or are you getting distracted by the noise of everyday life? It's easy to lose sight of our true goals and values, but taking the time to reflect and realign our priorities can lead to a more fulfilling and meaningful life. Take a moment and think about what truly matters to you. Is it your health, your family, your personal growth, or are you chasing after things that don't bring lasting value? By focusing on what really matters, you can create a life that is not only successful, but also deeply fulfilling. Let's make a commitment today to prioritize the important over the trivial, to invest our time and energy in the things that will bring us true happiness and success. Remember, life is too short to waste on things that don't matter. Focus on what truly matters, and everything else will fall into place. Your philosophy determines how you interpret the events in your life. Do you see challenges as obstacles or as opportunities? Your answer to that question reveals a lot about your philosophy. If you see challenges as obstacles, you're likely to feel defeated and give up easily. But if you see them as opportunities, you'll find ways to overcome them and grow stronger in the process. Sometimes I ask myself, what can I learn from this situation? How can I use this experience to become better? I started to see each setback as a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. This attitude made all the difference. Instead of feeling defeated, I felt empowered. One of my favorite quotes is from Henry Ford, who said, "Whether you think you can or you think you can't." You're right. This quote perfectly captures the power of attitude. Your attitude shapes your reality. If you believe you can achieve something, you're much more likely to succeed. But if you believe you can't, you've already set yourself up for failure. So how can we adjust our attitude to see challenges as opportunities? It starts with gratitude. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, you open yourself up to possibilities. Gratitude shifts your perspective from scarcity to abundance. It helps you appreciate the good in your life and recognize opportunities even in difficult situations. Another important aspect of attitude adjustment is resilience. Life is full of ups and downs, and it's how we handle the downs that really matters. Resilience is about bouncing back from adversity and not letting setbacks define you. It's about maintaining a positive outlook even when things are tough. Let's reflect on your own life. How do you respond to challenges? Do you see them as opportunities to learn and grow, or do you let them hold you back? Remember, your attitude is something you can control. You have the power to choose how you respond to the events in your life. Another powerful quote that has guided me is from Winston Churchill, who said, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." This reminds us that success and failure are not endpoints, but part of the ongoing process of life. What really matters is your ability to keep going. No matter what, let's bring it back to you. What is your personal philosophy? How do you see the world and your place in it? If you haven't taken the time to reflect on these questions, now is a good time to start. Your philosophy will guide your actions, and your actions will determine your results. Make sure your philosophy is aligned with your goals and values. I encourage you to embrace the power of a positive philosophy and attitude. Reflect on your current mindset and consider how it might be shaping your life. Are there areas where you can adjust your attitude to see more opportunities? Are there aspects of your philosophy that need refining to better align with your goals? Let's talk about something fundamental to achieving your goals. In maintaining focus, discipline, and consistency. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. It's the ability to stick to your plan, even when the initial excitement fades and the daily grind begins. I learned early on that discipline was crucial. When I was just starting out, I had big dreams, but little to show for them. I realized that without a disciplined approach, those dreams would remain just that. Dreams. One of the first lessons my mentor taught me was the power of discipline. He said, "Jim, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day." The small actions you take every day add up over time. It's not about making massive changes overnight, but about making small, consistent improvements. Imagine planting a seed and nurturing it daily. You won't see immediate results, but with consistent care, it will eventually grow into a strong, healthy plant. The same principle applies to our goals and dreams. Take the example of exercising. You don't get fit by working out once. You get fit by exercising consistently, day after day, week after week. The same goes for any area of your life, your career, your relationships, your personal growth. It's the consistent, disciplined actions that lead to lasting results. How do you build discipline and consistency into your life? Start by creating routines and habits that align with your priorities. Establish a daily routine that includes time for your most important tasks. Whether it's working on a project, exercising, or spending time with family, make it a non-negotiable part of your day. Set in small, achievable goals. Instead of overwhelming yourself with huge tasks, break them down into smaller, manageable steps. This makes it easier to stay consistent and see progress, which in turn fuels your motivation. Track your progress and keep a journal or use an app to track your daily actions. Seeing your progress over time can be incredibly motivating and helps you stay accountable. Celebrate your successes no matter how small. Every step forward is a victory. Acknowledge your efforts and reward yourself for staying disciplined. Now let's talk about another key element that greatly influences our focus and priorities. Relationships. The people you surround yourself with have a profound impact on your life. They can either lift you up or drag you down. So it's crucial to evaluate and nurture relationships that matter. Think about the people in your life. Are they helping you grow? Are they supportive of your goals and dreams? Or are they holding you back? It's not always easy to confront these questions, but it's necessary for your growth. I remember a time when I was hanging around with a group of people who were always negative. They would complain about everything. Work, relationships, life in general. I found myself getting sucked into their negativity. It was affecting my attitude and my progress. I realized I needed to make a change. I started seeking out positive, motivated individuals who inspired me to be better. The impact on my life was profound. I felt more energized, focused, and driven. You see, relationships are like a garden. You need to tend to them, nurture the ones that are healthy, and sometimes you need to weed out the ones that are toxic. It's not always easy, but it's essential for your well-being and success. Who are the people in your life that lift you up? Who are the ones that inspire you, challenge you to be better, and support your dreams? Spend more time with them. Nurture those relationships. And for the ones that drag you down, it might be time to set some boundaries or let them go. So let's make a commitment today to build discipline and consistency into our lives and to surround ourselves with positive, supportive relationships. Remember, success is a journey of small steps taken consistently over time. And having the right people by your side makes the journey not only possible, but also enjoyable. I want to invite you to take a moment for reflection. Think about your current focus. Are you prioritizing the things that truly matter to you? Or are you getting sidetracked by distractions and tasks that don't bring you closer to your goals? It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of daily life. But without regular reflection, we risk spending our time on things that don't align with our true priorities. So I encourage you to ask yourself, what am I focusing on today? Is it leading me to where I want to be? These questions are the first step in creating meaningful change. Now let's talk about developing a personal action plan to realign your priorities. Start by identifying your top 3 priorities. These could be areas like your health, family, career, or personal growth. Write them down. Seeing them on paper can bring clarity and a sense of commitment. Next, look at how you're currently spending your time. Are your daily actions supporting your priorities, or are they pulling you away from them? If you find that your actions are misaligned, it's time to make some adjustments. Set specific, actionable goals for each priority. For example, if your health is a priority, your goal might be to exercise for 30 minutes each day. If your family is a priority, your goal might be to have dinner together every evening without distractions. Make sure your goals are clear and achievable. Let's create a routine that incorporates these goals into your daily life. Consistency is key. Remember, it's the small, disciplined actions taken every day that lead to significant results over time. Track your progress and celebrate your successes. No matter how small, this will keep you motivated and moving forward. Now, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with some motivational thoughts. The potential for a transformed life is within your reach. Not about making drastic changes overnight, but about making small, consistent efforts every day. Focus on what truly matters and let go of the rest. Think about where you want to be a year from now. Imagine the life you could have if you stayed disciplined, focused, and committed to your priorities. Picture the success, the fulfillment, and the joy that would come from living a life aligned with your values and goals. Thank you all for being here today, for your attention, and for your commitment to personal growth. I believe in each and every one of you and your potential to achieve great things. Let's go out there and make it happen. Together, we can create a life that is focused, fulfilling, and truly aligned with our dreams.